The Imcando Hatchet has arrived in RuneScape alongside the Grove, the latest expansion to Fort Forinthry. And just like all the other Imcando tools, assembling the pieces for the Imcando Hatchet is painful and tedious. So, in this guide, I'm going to show you everything you can do to boost your chances at getting the bird's nest that you require to get all 4 Imcando Hatchet pieces. Good day, everybody. So first off, before you even get started gathering these hatchet pieces, you will need to get your Grove at Fort Forinthry up to tier 3. I'm not going to go over how to do that in this guide because it's fairly straightforward and that's not what I want to focus on. Once you have your Grove at tier 3, you can actually get your first Imcando hatchet piece by talking to Oak. And you may have to talk to him 2 times and he'll be close to the tree patch and close to the cabin here. He'll mention something about new bird's nests coming in, all that, etc. And then he'll give you a bird's nest that has a piece of the Imcando hatchet in it. Now, luckily, as a general rule, all Imcando hatchet pieces drop in order. You'll notice that mine here is actually number 2, and that's because I didn't know that you could talk to Oak, for a free piece, so I actually got one, luckily, from a bird's nest. And that is the most important thing to mention first, your very first Imcando piece. It's really easy. Now, for the other 3, it's a little more tedious, and we know that they come from specific bird's nests, and I didn't know this for a while, but the bird's nests that you need for Imcando hatchet pieces are actually unique bird's nest pieces, and they look unique, and they take up their own unique bank space. When this update first came out, I got my Grove up to tier 3, and then I went through all the old bird's nests in my bank, well, not all of them, like 100, and I started searching them to see if I could happen to get a piece from existing bird's nests, and it wasn't the case. It didn't happen. That's for 2 reasons. One, once you upgrade your Grove to tier 3, the bird's nests that you get from cutting trees will actually be marked as bird's nests plus, and they are a totally different type of bird's nest than the ones you got before, so they won't stack with other ones in your bank that you had previously, or other bird's nests that you can get from like the giant mole or things like that. They're not the same. So they're distinguishable that way. Furthermore, like I mentioned, the bird's nests with the Imcando hatchet pieces are unique themselves. I actually didn't know this either when I got my first one. I just had 2 bird's nests in my bank that were not marked as bird's nests plus. There was one with an egg and one other one, and I didn't notice actually that the other one was a hatchet piece. So I just opened it and banked everything, or just didn't notice it was in my inventory because I was on mobile and the image is kind of dark. So I just carry around my first Imcando hatchet piece for a while in my inventory without knowing it. Anyways, that is to say that you can get bird's nest egg drops and they won't be marked as plus, but I think that's because that's inconsequential anyways. So, on to the next most important thing. It appears that you can only get the Imcando hatchet bird's nests from chopping trees, and that they are fairly rare. Just cruising Reddit and hearing players talk, it's taking more than 10 hours on average. Some players are getting lucky, but there are many players going many hours before finding all hatchet pieces, and as of right now, we're about only like 2 or 3 days into this update, and many players have been grinding it and not having that. So, the best things you can do are increase your chances for getting bird's nests while you chop trees. At the moment, there's not much better you can do, so let me go over all the known boosts you can get to bird nest drop chances. And by the way, an important thing to note for bird nest drops, you don't have to have successful log chops. The chance for bird nests to drop just happens kind of per action, or as long as you're, basically as long as you're just chopping at a tree. So for this reason, if you have the woodcutting level for it, a lot of players are preferring elder trees because you can just sit there for 5 minutes at a time, and then the elder trees need to regrow their branches, but you can just hop to a different elder tree or something else in the grove or whatever if you want to. I will note that the grove right now is very crowded, and the trees are a shared resource. They're not instanced to you specifically, so the trees go down very quickly in the grove because of the amount of players. Not ideal. So if you have the woodcutting level for it, the elder trees and just hopping between them is your best bet at just making this AFK and as fast as possible. Otherwise, go for your next best AFK woodcutting method. Probably ivy, but again, not in the fort because it's very crowded and getting chopped down very quickly. Or overgrown idols. Without further ado, let's get into how you actually boost your bird's nest drop rate chances. The very best item by far for this is the Scrimshaw of Tree Shaking, or Tree Shaking Scrimshaw. The tradable version increases your chance of bird nest drops by 300%. The untradable version increases your chances by 400%, which is huge. This is by far the biggest contributing factor to your bird's nest chances. The boost is much greater than other gear. The way that you get the untradable version that is superior, that gives the 400% increased chance of bird nests, requires 90 fletching on your part, and it requires you to have unlocked the 4 scrolls for that Scrimshaw within player-owned ports. This one is going to be a big no-no for many players because many players don't really do ports. I have a guide on that, by the way, that's very comprehensive and has been getting a lot of good reviews. Thank you all for that. Anyways, if you don't already have this, you can just buy the tradable version. If you're an Iron Man, then out of luck. This is one of the very last Scrimshaws that people really get in their ports journey or unlock because it previously to this hasn't been very useful. But yeah, you will have to get 4 scroll voyages and point them all towards this Scrimshaw in order to have the ability to even craft it using 2 ancient bones. And as I mentioned before, 90 fletching. If neither of these Scrimshaws are an option for you for reasons I mentioned above, the next best thing that you can do is the Brooch of the Gods. Also fairly high level item. It's more likely that you'll have access to these Scrimshaws by the time you get access to a Brooch anyways, but the Brooch has a general bonus that increases the trigger rate of a lot of events like this by 20%. So 20% is a much smaller increase than 300 or 400% like the Scrimshaws, but much better than nothing. The next best boost you can get for bird's nest drop rate chances is the Woodcutting elite outfits, specifically the Oak Sentinel outfit or the Nature Sentinel outfit, which is the one that you get by combining all the other elite outfits. If you're not quite there yet and you don't know already, you can start gathering fragments of elite outfits once you have level 80 woodcutting, or sorry, I think 70 actually, but you can only craft them once you have level 80 woodcutting and level 20 invention after you've unlocked the blueprint. If your account is not that new, it's likely you already have some woodcutting sentinel outfits. The Oak one boosts your chance of a bird nest drop by 5%. The Nature Sentinel outfit boosts it by 7%. If you're not there yet, well, you'll be chopping trees anyways if you want this hatchet, so you will gradually get the pieces you need as long as you're level 80 woodcutting, or sorry, 70 at least, for making the outfit. The last 2 items on the list that can help boost your chances here are actually an unknown quantity, in that I don't even know how this is possible in 2023, but according to the wiki, we don't know how much they boost your bird nest drop chance. And they are the Lucky Rabbit's Foot. Easily obtainable, even for an iron. You'll notice in my videos I'm not really wearing one yet, although I will say that I am now, because I didn't mention this before, but as of right now, I only have 2 Imcando hatchet pieces after like 2 or 3 days of non-stop woodcutting, which speaks for something of the drop rates. But anyways, I am wearing that now. I wasn't wearing it because we don't know how much it increases drop chances, but the Lucky Rabbit's Foot acts as like a general tier 1 luck item for a lot of things, and so my guess is that it's like a 1% chance boost, but as RuneScape players are, if there's even a 1% chance boost to something, but we expect to do it thousands of times potentially, I hope it doesn't take thousands of birds' nests, we'll get it. So, easily obtainable, you should wear it unless you really need Saren Spirits. The last item that can help you that is also an unknown quantity is the Woodcutting level 99 cape. If you're not level 99 woodcutting yet, you won't be worrying about this, but if you are, you might as well wear it. There's no loss. We don't know, again, how much it boosts your bird's nest chance. We just know that it does. And that's really about it. That's all you can do to boost your bird's nest drop rate chances as far as we know now. Again, unless someone knows otherwise and can correct me, it doesn't matter how fast you chop the logs. It doesn't matter your success rate. It just matters that you are constantly chopping a tree. That is your best success rate. With this setup, minus the Lucky Rabbit's Foot that I didn't have in these videos, I was getting anywhere from 0 to 3, maybe logs per elder tree, and the elder trees are active for 5 minutes, so you can call that an average of maybe 2.5 bird's nests every 5 minutes. As I alluded earlier, I am up to probably about 150 bird's nests or close, and I have only gotten 1 Imcando piece actually from bird's nests. One other thing I will mention that I noticed just cruising Reddit is that almost immediately upon this release, so within a few hours of the Grove and the Imcando Hatchet release, the Scrimshaw of tree shaking was tweaked, like silently hotfixed or hot nerfed, whatever you want to call it, because it was unexpectedly giving way too good of chances for bird's nest drops. I don't remember exactly how it works, but a JMod replied on Reddit to a thread and said it had something to do with a change in the core mechanic of how bird's nest drops work. So the Scrimshaw was just dropping a crap load of bird's nests, and they tweaked it, so now it is the Scrimshaw is helping a lot less than it was before. Many players speculate that maybe next week we will see an update to rebalance this again, hopefully towards the better, because there are a lot of players complaining right now about how long it takes to get this Imcando hatchet. In my opinion, so far from my experience, it is taking a bit longer maybe than the archaeology Imcando Mad Talk. I remember being able to get that one in like a full day of AFKing, or maybe at most like 2 days. This one seems to be taking a lot longer, so it is reasonable, I think, to say that it's not in line with other Imcando equipment. So that's the last bit of info I wanted to throw out there in case you're not in a super rush to get this hatchet, and maybe you do want to wait till next week and see if there's another hot fix. Maybe, maybe not, but otherwise, if you have time to AFK, which, you know, this is an entirely AFK process, assuming you have access to at least like overgrown idols or ivy or elder trees preferably. Not too much effort, might take forever, but hey, you'll get a bunch of bird's nests plus in the meantime. Alright, that's all I really have to say on the matter. I hope this guide helps a little bit, at least maybe showed you some bird's nest drop rate enhancers that you didn't know about before, and maybe just gives you some insight into how this new hatchet pieces dropping actually works. There's a better way to say that. Anyways, if you're still watching and made it this far, thank you very much. I very much appreciate your support. I also appreciate a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and a subscription if you want to see more helpful RuneScape content. I will catch you in the next one. Thank you, guys.